Successful urban planning helps target where jobs and housing development occurs while ensuring necessary transportation infrastructure and public amenities to support them. In the past, we called this reduced an urban village strategy. Seattle has seen explosive growth fueled by tax and other incentives provided by the city. Rather than managing growth, we are encouraging unfettered demand on housing and infrastructure and have arguably failed at implementing successful housing and transportation policies because we're clearly delivering too little too late to support the growth. Planning Director Sam Asefa has called Mayor Murray the planner-in-chief, and that planning has largely been based on a backroom deal, the bargain, to upzones large areas in the city and to support transit infrastructure which delivers the transit to limited areas many decades out. What would you do differently as the planner-in-chief to address the growing pain Seattle is experiencing?
That's a great question. That's exactly the question. So I would like to point to South Lake Union as a kind of poster child of what bad planning is. So everyone knows, like Toby just said, if you're going to plan for growth, you have to have a jobs housing balance, and you have to plan for transportation, and you have to plan for where the people who move there are going to go to school, how are the people going to get to work. We didn't do any of that. We permitted a whole lot of commercial development, very dense commercial development, without any parallel development in housing. So we're forcing all those workers coming to that neighborhood to drive. And we could have got ahead of that at the time, but we didn't. And then we didn't plan any transit to that neighborhood. So we're creating this congestion. We're, made the Mercer mess worse because we created a new job center without any care for how people are going to get there. And so that's an example, and I'll put that on both Mike McGinn and Murray because they let that happen. They could have got ahead of it. They didn't do anything to prevent that from happening. So, growth is happening. People are moving here, and I call that natural growth. I say, welcome everybody. Yes, we have good jobs. Yes, we're going to be a place for climate refuge. We're a great city with great quality of life. So people are going to move here, and that to me is fine and good and healthy, but it's the other unhealthy demand that we are facilitating that we need to get ahead of. So we need to, the demand that's escalating housing prices, we need to stop that. And we need to look at demographics of who's coming, where they're going to live, and how are they going to get to their jobs, and get ahead of the transit challenge in advance of people moving here. We just haven't done enough advanced research, and we wait until we have a crisis, and then we go in and it feels too late because everybody's angry, streets are congested, people can't get where they're going, and people are losing quality of life.
I just took a look at your webpage issues, statements, and response to the SNC's questionnaire, and one of your statements concerning how to plan and manage growth is that it should be accepted citywide by various neighborhoods. And what you say is, quote, basic standards should be established where all neighborhoods accept some share of growth. What kind of standards are you talking about, and how would you make that happen?
So in the planning process in the 90s, there was research done on how many people they expected would move to the city and how much growth every neighborhood should be expected to absorb. And I think a model like that, where we're looking in advance at the growth projections, the job projections, and understand where there's development capacity, where the job centers, what neighborhoods are close to job centers, what neighborhoods are close to transit and to parks, to identify the places that are most able to accommodate growth, and then work directly with the neighborhoods at solutions to get to that level of growth in their neighborhood.
Do you plan to submit anything in response to the draft environmental impact statement for the upzone before the primary, now that the deadline's been put off till the week after?
I'm going to give you a maybe on that. The schedule is so hectic between now and then, and I'm not sure that's the best use of my time, but I would welcome the chance to understand and read your contributions, your letters about the EIS, and understand the problems you see with it, and work with you once I get in office.
I think I'll leave it at that. Thank you.